Versus debates have been a staple of the internet since its conception. It's, quite the typical playground arguments you'd have with your friends about which superhero could beat, which supervillain. One of, if not, the most infamous debate of all time is between two of the most popular and prevalent protagonists from two different forms of media. You have Son Goku, the legendary Super Saiyan, the killer of God Slayers, and the fighter who would go on to save the universe. And Superman, the Man of Steel, the man without limits, and has fought battles waging across all of reality to protect Earth, the universe, the multiverse, and beyond. Many have tried to answer who would win in a fight between these two. A very influential and yet controversial channel by the name of Death Battle covered this twice in both 2013 and 2015, with many people, myself included at the time, criticising their level of research for both characters. Between the times of 2015-2016, another big YouTube channel by the name of Animation Rewind tackled the question twice as well, and then later on in 2019, yet another big YouTuber by the name of Seth the Programmer would also attempt to answer this question. And while Seth the Programmer's video was better received in Death Battles, it still had a lot of people arguing and seemingly was incapable of coming to a conclusion that satisfied everybody. Despite both Seth and Death Battle both coming to the same conclusion, with Superman winning, it doesn't stop people from debating it now. In fact, I think I've seen a lot more people say that Goku would beat normal Superman nowadays. No cosmic armor, no cyborg, just regular Superman. And while I'm not that confident in answering the question myself, I can at least provide an answer as to why no one can seem to agree on something that's kind of supposed to be as subjective, whilst also providing my own opinion on who would win. If you're going to enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and what you think about the matchup, or rather comment that. It's free and it lets me know you like this type of video, and let's just jump into it. Before I go to talk about the feats, of speed, strength, and abilities of these two, I think I have to talk about which versions of the characters I'll be using, since it may be a bit obvious, but there is a conversation needed when talking about this. For example, manga feats for Goku cannot be used, as the manga, while it does follow the same general continuity, have different things happen within them and different power scaling. For example, narratively speaking, there are many different events that occur, in the Goku Black arc especially. Infinite's Master, for example, doesn't happen, and instead he makes clones of himself, or something. Future Trunks in the manga is also much weaker and doesn't get any random BS power-up that just makes him relevant to the story, such as Super Saiyan Rage or the Spirit Sword. And when it comes down to the power scaling side of things, there's much more emphasis on Goku surpassing the Gods of Destruction in the anime, and there's also a statement about Broly being possibly stronger than Beerus, both of which is not in the manga, and it's only really implied that Jiren, someone who Goku fought, surpassed Belmod, and Belmod specifically, especially when we consider that Beerus is shown to be much more of a milestone for Goku and Vegeta, and it's shown that even after the tournament of power, characters like Vegeta, who are scaled to Goku, are still shown being able to get beat up by Beerus. There's also the fact that Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken doesn't exist in the manga and is instead replaced by the form Perfected Super Saiyan Blue, which is an entirely different thing from Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Goku is also implied to have absorbed the Super Saiyan God form into his base after his fight with Beerus, and this is pushed a lot, by the way, in the anime. Meanwhile, in the manga, there's only one small hint to it, and it's not even stated or implied anywhere else, implying that Goku in the manga, well, yes, he did master Ultra Instinct and is doing better with it than his anime counterpart, he is still much weaker going by this. He didn't absorb God into his base. I will go over a slightly composited version of Goku combined the manga in the end, if you think is viable, but it won't change very much. As for Superman, he has many different versions and alternate universe versions of him, and handpicking a specific one could be seen as me or anyone else that's covering this topic as just nitpicking a character or of Superman, so that he could lose or win against Goku. And there isn't really a real way to go about this, as they are shown to have different continuities and have even fought each other on separate occasions. I will be looking at specifically post-Crisis Superman, as that's a version of Superman I'm most familiar with, and he's also the best example of why this debate is so hard to talk about. Speaking of which, when talking about Superman's strength, he is shown to be very strong. In fact, he is so durable that he's able to take attacks that can, destroy an entire moon, and he just survived after being just, knocked out. He even has a strength feat of, bench pressing the planet for several days on end. But then there's even more. He's shown consistently being stronger than Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is strong enough to drag around entire stars with her lasso. Superman has even been shown capable of lifting entire black holes up, those things that can consume stars and solar systems alike. He's even been shown capable of throwing an entire solar system too. But wait a minute. If he can, take the power of a black hole, then why is he getting knocked out by a moon? I mean, the Earth is roughly 4 times the size of the moon, and the sun is over 100 times larger than the Earth, which means that Superman, bare minimum, is tanking something that's 436 times greater than a feat that knocked him out, which doesn't really make much sense, and that isn't even the end of it. Superman has been shown being unaffected of the idea of a bomb that can destroy a galaxy, and when fighting other versions of Superman, they were both going to destroy the universes that they were fighting in if they kept on going. Keep in mind that there are literally billions of solar systems in a singular galaxy, and billions of galaxies within a singular universe. Much less, all the spaces between each galaxy and solar system, meaning that it's a complete massive range of feats here. There's also the often interpretation of the universe being, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, infinite in size too. Post-Crisis Superman even goes on to fight his original counterpart, who's been shown on par with pre-Crisis Superman, who also has a large selection of feats to pick from. Pre-Crisis Superman had enough power to restore all future timelines wiped out by a villain named Time Trapper, who was going to wipe out all time throughout a multiverse. He's also shown on par with another, Justice League member named Hal Jordan, who caused a villain named Parallax to retreat. A character who could have caused destruction on a similar scale to the Infinite Earths, or the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and was only stopped because Spectre intervened. The Crisis was an event which was just a multiversal catastrophe. He also managed to fight Maldor, who had grown so much that he got to the point where he threatened all of existence, which could possibly even be taken in as outerversal with the threatening all of existence line. To put into context, one universe is made up of one infinite structure. A multiverse is made up of infinite universes, so if you can destroy the multiverse, then you're capable of outright, destroying infinite amounts of infinities. This doesn't even come to, describe the definition of outerversal, which is basically all of reality, including the higher dimensions, above the multiverse and beyond. And if Superman is outerversal, then how the hell is he getting knocked out by just a moon? And on the flip side, if Superman is struggling to destroy planets, then how is he capable of threatening infinite infinities, spatial dimensions, and beyond the very concept of reality itself? The fact that this is just a single version of Superman, and he has this massive range of feats, really hits home how hard it is to talk about this debate. You could say that to look at the consistency of Superman. However, even that is difficult, because then it becomes, what do you think is most consistent, what do you think is more viable? Most people say that, solar system, level for Superman is mostly consistent, but then he has a ton of universal feats, and he also consistently scales to other Supermen who are consistently multiversal. So it just adds even more confusion to it. This is also very inconvenient, as Goku scales between universal to low multiversal. He scales to this through being able to destroy Universe 7's macrocosm with just a few punches when fighting Beerus. I have heard a few arguments that this only makes Goku multi-galaxy level, and that he also needed Beerus to do so, which means that, it just doesn't count. However, not only, would he have to have matched Beerus blow for blow in order to stay relative to him, the Dragon Ball universe is made up of multiple universe-sized realms, which are going to be destroyed too, as Heaven and Hell realms respectively are both stated to be as wide as the universe, and then you have, structures like the Grand Kai planet and the Kaioshin realm, which are both, they both take up large structures within these universe-sized realms, meaning they're at least multiple galaxies in size. If Goku is only multi-galaxy level, then how is he able to affect and possibly destroy multiple universes? Not just one. Not only that, but Goku absorbed the power of the God form, into his base, which means that he can go Super Saiyan God on top of his already God base form, further solidifying him as universal, at least. I have heard people say that Goku's complex multiversal is the afterlife is described as a higher dimension than the living realm. However, this could be, very literal, not its very definition. It's also more consistent to have Goku universal and low multiversal, as we'll see later on. In the Goku Black Saga, a very powerful villain named Infinite Zamasu grew so powerful that he began fusing with space-time itself and would end up fusing with the whole multiverse. The only thing is, the multiverse in Dragon Ball is only made up of 12 universes, so it's not your typical multiverse of being made up of infinite universes, so it's not quite multiversal. What makes this low multiversal, however, is because not only did, Zamasu, fuse with the multiverse, he was also fusing with other timelines, past, present, and future. And while there are a limited amount of them, it is still a pretty mental feat, which would make it low multiversal, at least. You could hardball him to multiversal, but it wouldn't make as much sense. It's also important to note that Goku was confident in taking on Infinite Zamasu if he just had a Senzu Bean, a bean that can restore him to full stamina. Later on, Goku goes on to fight and ultimately surpasses Jiren, who is stated to be stronger than anyone Shin had ever felt before. Shin is a character who was literally there to see Infinite Zamasu, and even Vegito at the time if you really want to go there, although that is debatable. Goku even shakes the world of Void, a realm stated to be infinite in size and to have zero time or space within it. Having zero time or space is something you would associate to, when you're destroying multiverses. However, this realm was only made up of one infinity, so it's not really concrete, and is more evidence as to Goku being low multiversal. There is debates to this if, the World of Void statement was a mistranslation or not, but it wouldn't be inconsistent if Goku, was still low multiversal. Going back to what we're saying about Superman, it's clear to see why this is annoying, because if you go with literally any scaling for Superman that exists, it would mean that Goku stomps Superman, or Superman stomps Goku, or they're equal in power. In my personal opinion, I believe that post-crisis Superman's multiversal, due to him scaling to other Supermen, but of course, comparing, or rather using other scaling for Superman, this is not the case whatsoever. In fact, if you think that Superman's only moon level, then yeah, Goku absolutely claps him. But if you think that Superman's outerversal, then yeah, Superman claps Goku, and it just keeps on going round and round in circles. When it comes to speed, though, Superman has displayed many faster-than-light feats. For example, he's capable of flying from Vega, a very far-away planet light years away, to Earth in a very short amount of time. He could also blitz, a ship moving at light speed, and is also portrayed to be swifter than the Green Lanterns, which could fly to the edge of the universe in a short amount of time. Meaning they must have moved at 87.6 quadrillion times faster than light. This could even be interpreted as infinite speed if you assume that the DC universe is infinite. He has also displayed other infinite feats, such as, being able to keep up with Professor Zoom, also known as Reverse Flash, who could run so fast he could run back in time, and also scales to a Flash, who could have a race against himself. Of course, the Flash is also portrayed to be faster than Superman, but the fact that he can keep up with Zoom at all is a pretty good feat. And especially when you scale post-crisis Superman to pre-crisis Superman, it solidifies it even more, as pre-crisis Superman could fly back in time. Goku, meanwhile, also has massively faster than light feats and infinite speed feats too. The shockwaves that travelled across the macrocosm, for example, were moving at over 587 quadrillion times the speed of light, and then of course Goku absorbs this into his base form, meaning that when he transforms into his god form, it's much greater than that. Later on, two characters named Hit and Jiren go on to fight each other. Hit has the ability to mess with and slow down time, and Jiren straight up powers through it and is stated to surpass time itself, and that time means nothing compared to his power. Keep in mind that Jiren was heavily suppressed here, and Goku with Mastered Ultra Instinct is able to fight Jiren with full power, making it a much more insane feat. However, Superman would still be faster due to having immeasurable level speed, which is far more impressive than infinite speed. The thing is, though, you can scale Goku higher. For an example, when shaking the World of Void, his power is able to be felt in an entire timeless void. However, it's not only debatable, of course, as we already said, that the World of Void, statement could be a mistranslation. There's also the fact that it wouldn't even equivalent to Goku's speed. It's just talking about Goku's power. And he has never shown, immeasurable speed feats by himself. And actually, that's a contradiction. He has managed to display some immeasurable speed feats. In the Goku Black Saga, a very powerful deity named Zeno completely erases the timeline from existence, erasing all time and space in the process. Goku then travels back to this timeline via a time machine and goes up to Zeno and talks to him, despite the fact that they're in a timeless universe. However, this could be an outlier for many reasons. The first of which is Goku is in base form here, freely moving around like it's nothing, yet when Jiren surpasses time later on, the gods are shitting themselves and can't even explain what they're seeing. And if, that's supposed to be such a mental feat, then, that it really wouldn't be if you consider that base Goku has infinite speed. Also, Goku cannot breathe underwater or survive in space for very long, yet he's able to survive and breathe in a realm without space whatsoever. I don't think the writers really thought that one through. Both Superman and Goku have a surprising amount of abilities, despite their often linear portrayed characters. Starting with Superman, he's a genius in intellect and very acrobatic. He has longevity, along with stellar radiation absorption. He can fly, he has enhanced senses and information analysis. His heat vision grants him heat manipulation, limited radiation manipulation, very limited matter manipulation, as his heat vision can match absolute zero, and emits, precise doses of microwaves, which can kill organic nanomachines, and, can replace the effects of the sun. He can hit intangible beings, turn intangible himself, turn invisible too. He can nullify powers with his heat vision. He has super breath along with ice breath. He can create after images and illusions. He has some degree of martial arts and knows how to strike the pressure points. He has limited sound manipulation, as he can break out of illusion just by shouting, and can cancel out tornadoes and being able to generate them too, implying some level of air manipulation. He has purification, BFR, limited electricity and vibration manipulation, along with some level of regeneration. He has body control, he has absorption of electromagnetic energy. He has limited space-time manipulation, statistics amplification, light manipulation via his heat vision, and is proficient in weapons. His resistances consist of being able to resist reality warping, energy manipulation, ice and soul manipulation. He's resisted mind manipulation, fire manipulation, empathic manipulation via his willpower. He's shown resistance to illusions, power absorption and transmutation, along with fear manipulation, radiation manipulation, matter manipulation, time manipulation, like time slow and time stop more specifically. He's resisted being erased from existence, being possessed, instant death manipulation, he's resisted acid manipulation, he's resisted electricity manipulation, magma manipulation, telekinesis, deconstruction, gravity manipulation, black holes, corruption, biological manipulation, pain manipulation, and paralysis inducement. Going on to Goku now, he is a master martial artist and has ki manipulation. He can sense where other people are, has supernatural willpower and enhanced senses. He can occasionally break the fourth wall, and he can create shockwaves along with his information analysis. He's an acrobat, he can fly along with, being able to hit pressure points. He can create after images and mimic other key abilities. He has light manipulation via the solar flare. He has telepathy, teleportation, along with possibly dimensional travel and BFR, due to being stronger than characters like Super Buu and Gotenks who could do the same. He has accelerated development in a reactive power level, which means he gets stronger as he fights, and he can increase his power through transformations, techniques, and rage. This consists of the Kaioken, Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, Kaioken, Ultra Instinct Omen, or Sign, and Mastered Ultra Instinct. He can absorb key attacks, he has heat manipulation, he has very high pain tolerance and can adapt to intense gravity. He can fuse with other fighters via the fusion dance, and has instinctive reaction via Ultra Instinct. He has resistance to poisons, harsh temperatures, and radiation, along with being sensed as no mortal can sense a god in Dragon Ball, and Goku obviously has a god transformation, along with God Ki within him. Goku's also shown some level of regeneration as a Super Saiyan God, and he can sense the presence of other gods as well. He has analytical prediction, as he can predict hits movements, which skips through time itself, and grew a resistance to time stop and electricity manipulation. He could create barriers around himself to protect himself from poisons. He could, restart his own heart despite the fact that it was completely crushed. He could seal people away with the Mafuba. He could summon Zeno to him, and he can go to Zeno. He has explosion manipulation, he's able to block intangible attacks from hit, and has withstood void manipulation and existence erasure by tanking a Hakai. A technique which erases things from existence, and I've heard some people say that this shouldn't really apply to Goku due to the fact that if you're strong enough you could power through the Akai. However, Goku should still have existence erasure like resistance, as in order for this to happen you have to imply that base Goku, when off guard, is comparable to the gods of destruction, which quite frankly does not make any sense. He also has limited space-time manipulation, being able to destroy Hit's pocket dimension along with paralysis inducement via the God Bind. He generates heat via Ultra Instinct and can use air as attacks. I think it's clear that they're both very versatile and with abilities that counter each other. Of course, Superman's intangibility wouldn't work on Goku, and his invisibility wouldn't work either, as Goku could just sense where he is. Both have regeneration, martial arts, and some level of power nullification. However, it's notable that Goku's power nullification and absorption is only ever shown to be key related and may not apply to other powers, unlike Superman. But what about the elephant in the room, the stats? If either Goku or Superman can one-shot the other before the other one can even react, then the abilities are pointless. And this brings us back round to the biggest problem of the matchup. No matter what I or anyone else says, there's no objective way to say who wins. For me, Superman is multiversal and has immeasurable speed, while Goku is low multiversal and has infinite speed, so in my opinion, Superman would beat Goku. That's great and all, but if you heavily disagree with these points, you could very easily, provide evidence for it that can seem completely irrefutable in a vacuum and they seem pretty set in stone. If you think that Superman's planet level, solar system level, galaxy level, or just faster than light, then the answer to who would win would be different, as saying also that Goku is complex multiversal and that Superman's outerversal, everything is just, too complicated, etc, etc. Keep in mind that this is only one version of both Goku and Superman that's being used. What about Golden Age Superman? Or, Superman Prime 1 Million? Or live action Superman? What about, Dragon Ball GT Goku, Xenoverse Goku, Capture Goku, hell, even Jump Force Goku? All of these characters have their own scaling as well. The debate is endless, and there isn't an objective way to answer, one version between two characters. I doubt they will get any sort of conclusion to this debate anytime soon due to, how mental this debate is. The only way that there can really be any, answer to this debate is if Goku gets outerversal powers and immeasurable speed, since at that point it's, he at least stalemates Superman, if not wins. Otherwise, there's always an argument that Superman's stronger and faster. And, because of that, I doubt we're going to see that for a while. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. It's free and it lets me know you like this type of content, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video.